This is Steve Woodruff. Let's talk for a few minutes about clarity in our messaging. And one way to understand clarity is to look at its opposite, which is obscurity. And some people are really, really good at obscurity. One way to do obscurity in your messaging is to speak in such highfalutin language that nobody can possibly understand what you're saying. Here's an example from one of my favorite websites called Blue Spoon Consulting. And under the ecosystem design, we have these words, and it's best done as a dramatic reading. There are now infinite possibilities for connecting people and organizations. In a liquid world, the tightly bound company can no longer be the core of deliberation for strategy. Said another way, the idea of enterprise-wide must move beyond the edges of a company's assets or its own sources of information. Sustainable advantage, differentiation, and commercial model innovation comes from linking adjacent business landscapes into new industry ecosystems. Ecosystem-centered market strategy spans operating environments. The concept of brand shifts from a product-centric view to a system-level view. New, large-scale platforms for growth come from designing self-generating markets and then managing them for increasing returns. Now I ask you, what in the world does that say? It's absolutely incomprehensible. And yet some people think that the way they're going to get business is by being so intimidating in their use of buzzwords and jargon that people assume they're getting something great. I'm afraid that's not the way it goes. People want clear, simple language they can relate to. They don't need to be going to dictionaries, encyclopedias, and the latest website about lingo to try to figure out what you're saying. Boil down, distill your message down to plain English. If your mother and your mother-in-law and your neighbor can understand it, then you're on the right track.